Welcome, Warriors of Light, on a conscious journey to this connect with and balance our inner world so you can better manifest in the outer world. Today we'll be connecting with the inner feminine, inner masculine, wounded aspects through the inner child. We will get the advice of our higher element, our higher self, or the self, as Carl Jung calls it. And an aspect that's often forgotten and not even really talked about, but is so essential, is the body elemental, and which makes up our body system and our connection with our soul. So we'll be looking at that aspect through the mineral, so stones, gemstones, plants, and animal and elemental kingdoms. And then we will get the advice of the balanced self, balance aspects, masculine and feminine aspects, via the archetypes, which will be represented in the Carl Jung major arcana aspect of the Carl Jung card deck. So I don't really like long-winded intros, so please look in the description for the deeper elements to this, and you'll kind of follow and go as we go along. And this is all because eventually we have to work on ourselves, balance ourselves. So many great, wonderful readers are kind of coming to that, even though we're searching for an outer, feminine partner or outer masculine partner. Eventually, we have to come within and unite those forces within ourselves. So that is the momentum behind this reading. So without further ado, I will start with the wounded aspect of the inner child on the feminine pole of that. So the card we get for that is release. Release that which binds you. This is, they're even showing pretty clearly, release anything from your past, even your present, that is no longer serving you. You can release all of that with love, but it's time to do that, to lighten your load. These cards are, that's why I don't look when I pick them. This is, getting, transforming our emotional neediness and any cords that are still connecting us. And the affirmation for this: I'm complete in myself and release all need for others. So that is really what I'm feeling from the wounded inner child, is that when the child was wounded from all different areas of life, there was this codependence, that seeking for love and either giving too much or wanting and kind of pumping off of other people. So I think that's the feminine aspect, is to really pull in her energies and let go of those things that are no longer serving us, in gratitude, of course. So for the inner masculine, the wounded aspect of the inner child from the masculine side, which tends to be rational, controlling, fearful, is forgiveness. Not only forgiveness of those past relationships, family situations, but forgiveness of the self, because with forgiveness, it's not forgiving and forgetting if something really bad was happening, but it's giving for yourself. When you forgive, you allow an opening of compassion to come in, both with yourself and with others. I am the unconditional love and open heart through which forgiveness flows, and it is this love that I too am forgiven. Yeah, so it's when you get forgiveness. So this is maybe those aspects of ourselves when we live in fear, live in control, in disconnection from our other elements, from our divine source. When this has been overpowering, when those forces of separation and lower vibrational, giving too much energy to the lower vibrationals instead of letting them breathe and transform. And what is the uniting force, the higher self, the self, as Carl Jung calls it. What? No, there's one. Too many are flying out. What element is going to unite those two of releasing things and forgiving? It's similar, because you do have to release the need to be right. When we have to forgive, you have to release. Maybe even just for a while, you send. They're very complementary, forgiving and releasing. Family. So maybe maybe the message here is maybe you've come to do that as of releasing the genetic multi-generational. Maybe you have been chosen to come and finally unite and heal those wounded aspects that have come down the line. That's a message I get pretty clear. So forgiving the past, releasing those energies, because you're the conscious one that came through to be able to do that. And I think that's the message that your higher self wants you to know. You are a warrior of light who has come to put light on these dark energies that have traveled down through many, many generations. And by doing that, you see the DNA strand, you heal the future generations, and you also feel the past generations of the burden that they also carried. So now, to help us with this healing and releasing, we need to call upon our body elemental, who has just been with us through every single incarnation, taking care of our life force, our etheric force, cleansing and this detoxing, because it sounds like with both of these, we might even want to physically detox. And we can call and connect with the elemental. And by the way, I made a video, if you want to go see it, on connecting with and releasing toxins from your body. So this one sounds like this reading would be good for that. So for the feminine energy, what the body elemental wants us to work with, from the earth element, the stones that are very strong with that, the earth element. And I'm in France, so some of these cards they're in French, so I will translate for you. This is zircon. The human being carries in itself the memory of origins that translates by his or her instinct to survive and provoke the quest for its true nature. So what I feel for that is, that sounds like it's a confirming thing, is in order for the wounded aspect of the wounded child feminine aspect is to really deeply cleanse the genetic DNA memories that have been carried down, and turn less in terms of survival, which we've done for too many generations, just about surviving, turn it towards our higher true nature, which is divine. And what do we need to know for what does our body elemental want us to know in terms of our masculine energies? that are up for change and balancing. Tiffany. I did not know there was a stone named Tiffany. It's very pretty. Life is perpetual movement. It is actually a universal law. All structure, established structure is brought to be transformed. Beautiful. It's the law of impermanence. Oh yeah, I said that. I didn't even realize I was going to say that. Yeah, that's a universal law. And so connecting with this stone, the body elemental wants us to know that blocking forgiveness will only manifest blockage because the energy is always going to move and transmute. So forgiveness, when we could think of Ho'oponopono is please forgive me, I'm sorry, I love you, and thank you. And this purple light, this is like the purple, and we also see the purple here coming from probably the seventh chakra. So that's what I feel with that, for to not stagnate, not block, not because what they say about forgiveness is like giving poison to yourself but thinking you're hurting the other person. So that this is really raising it to its higher power. Ho'oponopono would be helpful. That's for the wounded child and its masculine energy, to let energy flow, to let it flow. Let go and let it flow. And the body elemental's message that would unite this need to just survive and not live our true nature, and this possibly stagnating energy of the not moving at all of our wounded masculine part is sapphire, it would be. And this is consciousness guides us towards truth and justice. Faithfulness and perseverance are necessary in order to not let our passions and distractions maybe of the world absorb us. So this is what the body elemental would like us to focus on through the higher our higher self. When connected to our higher self, we are seeking truth and justice, and our faithfulness and perseverance, not giving up even though we're pulled into survival or we're pulled into non-action. So now we will look at our plant world. We have our inner organs that often resemble plants, like, what's very interesting is the placenta looks exactly like a tree. We have all the in the lungs, the bronchial type things. So what our plant nature, this green energy, this perhaps heart energy, the etheric forces, the feeling of the heart. So for the feminine, the body elemental wants us to think about our grace. This is the mallow plant, very pink, very feminine, pink and green, like the heart chakra. I harmonize with love and will. I speak and act from the heart. So turning the body elemental wants us to really connect deeply with our heart chakra and be in that space of grace, that forgiving and releasing creates the space for us to be. And for the masculine, what our body elemental wants us to know in terms of our plant element aspects in ourselves is Scots pine, wisdom. I am receptive to the truth and wisdom within my being. This is what, so you could see that this is a darker green. You have the pine cone, which is sometimes the pineal gland. We could see a little, I don't know if you could see the pine cone in there. And it looks prickly, this plant. It looks almost like, oh, excuse me one second, my dog, hold on one second. Huh? Speaking of animals. Sorry, that was my dog wanting to go out. I think we have to, in order to find our softness and the wisdom, and that with working with grace, that creating of space, we have to release the prickly parts of ourselves so we can access our true wisdom and power, and not just be in survival mode, and not let those pine needles fall from ourselves, so the true wisdom, divine wisdom, can come through. And the higher self, connecting with the body elemental, wants us to know in the plant kingdom. Iona pennywort. Iona is an island in Scotland off the Scottish coast. And this is transparency. I acknowledge and respect all aspects of myself. I am the light. So this is a very strong message. Don't forget, plants need light to survive. Just like we are the light. So there is this interdependence within that aspect of ourselves. And the more transparent, honest, and clear we become in clearing out the darker aspects of ourselves, we can become the light, and we become transparent to all those around that, and we can shine forth by being the light. And since we're kind of in a Scottish theme, the animals that we will be using today are the unicorns, or the flying Pegasus, mythical being, which we're going to count as an animal, a mystical animal. And the Scots use it as their national anthem, a national animal, because it's stronger than the lion, which represents England. Listening. Listen and the answer will be received. So this is calling our wounded aspects to kind of be still. We see a beautiful nature scene, all the animals gathering around too. And just listen, maybe going out in nature and listening to what nature just wants to tell us. Listening is an active thing. Hearing is when we just hear sounds, like my dog coming back in, when we hear sounds in the background. But listening is when we're active, and really actively listening by connecting to the possibly animal world, the natural world. Spending time in nature to heal the wounded feminine inner child. And for the masculine, we have blessings. Count your blessings, and the good in your life will multiply. So again, even though this is the unicorn, the unicorn cards, we can see that the animal kingdom is really represented. We have the pig, we have cows, sheep, ducks, a dog, a cat. And so the blessings are there. There seems to be this harmonious. Remember that we're all connected, because all these animals seem very peaceful and happy and connected. They all have their own personalities, but they're all together. So remember to be blessed. Remember, I think this is also about gratitude. Remember the gratitude. Be thankful for the wisdom. Be thankful for the wisdom that you receive. And from our higher self, through the body elemental, animal kingdom, mystery. Explore the unknown. The unexpected awaits you. And we have the moon, that kind of, and we have a lot of bluey kind of, almost dark. It's kind of, I think it's called, remember the light and the darkness. The moon is often seen as the light within the darkness. Remember that light within yourself that will illuminate even things you don't understand yet. Allow some things to come in their own divine timing. And allow yourself to explore areas of your soul, of your psyche, or of yourself, or of the world that you might never have thought of exploring, or might even never have realized were there until you start opening up to mysteries. And sometimes just allowing the mysterious to be, that we don't have to know everything all at once. That's kind of our humility. We don't have to know. And in fact, the more we think we know, the more we realize the world and life is very mysterious. And that is that, to realize you can say, I just don't know. And that's okay. So now we'll get some input from the fairies. Again, these will be, I'll translate them for you from the French. So what do the fairies have to say? The jasmine fairy. Oh, jasmine smells so nice. And it has those kind of, it kind of evokes the memories of childhood. Yep, and what does it say? Reconnect yourself to your inner child. Take time to dream and let your spirit wander in magical worlds. Yeah, so this is really telling you, I know when I smell jasmine, it's like, kind of has a little bit of an orangey smell. It always is soothing. It always just brings me back to happy childhood memories. And what I like about jasmine too is that it kind of reminds me of that orange stone in the middle. Is remember the magical. That's what the inner child is, our magic aspect. It is that when it's healed and happy and balanced, that's when the magic happens. And now for the masculine energy. The horse fairies. So we have a theme with there's not the horse, but they're in the blessings card. There's the unicorn, which is horse-like. Come gallop with us and release all your tensions. Forget the difficulties and reconnect with nature. So there's a strong message here of connecting back in nature. The fairies are telling you, come visit us, come be with us more, come realize that we exist. People think it's not real, so they're not real. The elements are real. They're more evolved kingdom than when we are. We used to interconnect with them in past times, and I think they're calling out. And it has a similar message of this kind of, children just like being in movement and moving around and connecting with nature, rolling in the grass, rolling down hills. Nobody does that anymore. I used to love rolling down the hill because you would kind of feel dizzy and sometimes you rolled across the hill because you couldn't roll down, but you would go fast. And it's just we've forgotten how to play. And this world has become really dense and prison-like, and so be happy for those little moments. And horses are so mystical too. They're such deep beings, and they're really like unicorns. So that's interesting. And the elemental being, the body elemental through the higher self, is the fairy of summer. Let your inner sun or your inner light shine. your feeling for love and heat and the warmth of life in you. Yeah, so let your inner light, your inner warmth and love shine through and around you. Amplify it and make it grow, and make the beauty within you grow in your heart. Yeah, this what comes to mind is E.T. and his heart light, because that's what he would do. His little heart would light up. E.T. phone home. So this is, again, there's a lot of message. Connect with your true home, with your true family, your family of light. Because remember, I said you're light warriors. If you're here, you've come to be the light. And when is there the most light in terms of the 4 seasons? The 4 seasons, that would be summer, at the summer solstice. Very nice. Be the light. That's what your higher self wants you to be. Reconnect. And finally, the final piece of advice is, now that you've healed all that, what do your inner harmonized, balanced parents have to tell your and how are they going to parent and help your inner child to feel connected and loved? So for the feminine aspect, Chariot, movement, get moving, which is kind of going to be a complementary thing for the masculine. So this is moving forward, travel. You know, he's out there in the forest with his 2 little pine trees there in the past, and behind him. Be this royalty. Look at these. He's holding the crown, and again, go towards your passion, your fire. So you can. This is indicating the wheel of fortune too. So he go towards completing any unfinished business. That's what I feel with this one. So the parent is going to guide this child to find and live and be the light through moving forward with grace, listening to the natural world and the world around and inner world to move towards developing the light and being the light and passion, and developing outward passions in the outer world. And how the parent will help the masculine energy is justice. Where did we have justice? We had justice. Again, this is finding this balance. This is Libra. This is clear communication and truth as well. She's holding the sword and finding that balance within, so you can speak your truth. Finding the truth too. Where did we had justice? Oh, it was the sapphire. Your conscience will guide you towards truth and justice. Faithfulness and perseverance are necessary in order to not let yourself be absorbed by the passions of the world. So the mineral element is really connecting here of the higher of our higher aspect in the parenting. So how is this archetypal healed parent? How is it going to help the child? Is to find balance within, balance between 2 extremes, and then to eventually communicate what is true and good. And for the final card, the higher self aspect. How is this higher self going to parent all of these, unite all of these 2 extremes? This Holy Trinity is the Hierophant. And hold on, let me count her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 10. and I'm not going to count all the stars, but there's lots of stars. So what is saying is, yeah, again, we have this theme of being the light, maybe within 10 days, 10 months, that will be realized. But first is uniting the masks that we put up, the false self, cutting through the ego, shining light on the ego. That's what I think the higher self is trying to kind of resume in all this this reading, is to really remove anything that is keeping you from seeing and being the light, coming back to your star self, into your holy trusting your intuition more than your ego self. That's what the Hierophant, not the Hierophant, the High Priestess. Did I say Hierophant? No, I did. I'm sorry. High Priestess. I said, but the Hierophant is the divine partner of the High Priestess. I said that earlier, but that's what I mean. So this is trusting your intuition again, and going within, but not letting the ego dominate. So you have to take off all the masks that are preventing you from actually seeing who you are. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. You can go back and read it and imagine, if you are divine feminine, that the masculine is your outer masculine person, and if you're a divine masculine, that the feminine is your feminine pole, and then what is going to help you unite. So you can really watch this again, and then instead of it being both aspects of yourself or wounded child aspects of yourself, you can then go back and read it and listen to it as if it's your outer masculine or outer feminine. Love and light. Have a great day.